live button.
Spinning.
Yeah,
oh,
there we go.
There we are. Right, we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, you are all very welcome to this week's edition of Mauls, Balls and All. Coming to you and via streamed the Rook This page because of the usual Facebook hierarchy and all that band and all that sort of stuff. Every week we are here at about 8:30 when we can. We are sometimes a few minutes late. Expecting to join us when he gets the feckin' message is Peter Martin. Peter Martin, check your messages, will you please? Thanks very much. And so joining me at the moment is Mike Reedy, all the way from Scotland. Oh, here's Peter. Look, hold on a second. Here he is.
You heard you giving out about him.
There he is.
He has graced us with his presence, folks, Mr. Peter Martin.
I have. Here I am.
There you go.
Entered the building.
He has entered the building. Right, folks. Excuse me. Joining me this evening, joining you to offer our opinions, and we would love to hear from you and what you think about the topics we were talking about. We have Mike Reedy, who is joining us from Scotland. We have Claire Devaney, who is joining us from I don't know where Claire is at the moment. There's shelving behind her, and
in my lovely house.
In your lovely house. That we'll go with that.
In your lovely house, yeah.
And of course, Peter Martin, whose timekeeping leaves an awful lot to be desired. Now, folks, how the hell are we? I had to get that in, Pete. I had to get that in, Pete.
Oh, we'll let you away with that one. Poetic license and stuff and shit. Like, you know.
If you can't take it, don't give it. How are we all? Are we all well in ourselves, folks?
All great.
All good, all good.
Right, good stuff. Now,
yeah, Delhi.
What I wanted to sorry, who's that? What? Pete? No, sorry. Okay. What I wanted to start with was, I suppose, a fairly extraordinary outburst from Mr. Jake White. I was surprised. I was shocked at it. And what I wanted to ask you was, and I'll just quote. I was just looking at. I have it up here now in front of me. What Jake White said after the final, the Bulls Glasgow, when the Bulls obviously lost, he said, and I quote, "It's twice in a row now that the ref has let the away side win. Next year, I'll ask when we play away that I want him to try and ref us." Now, folks, should this be allowed to happen? Is this kind of a freedom of speech thing? Is this let him off? Or should there be some sort of a sanction? Like, for me, I was amazed that he actually said it. I was going, Jesus Christ, you're a rugby coach. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Blaming the ref for your team losing.
South African.
Now, well, okay. Now, Razzie did it as well.
Yeah, which is why they pulled Gardner. Which is why they pulled Gardner from the match for the first half match.
Okay, I didn't know that. Pete's gone. He'll come back. But Mike, is this something that's acceptable, that a coach comes out after the game and blames the referee for his team losing?
Absolutely not. Totally unacceptable. It's absolutely pathetic, is what it is. Now, this has become too commonplace for me, and if they don't get a grip of it soon, it's going to happen after every game. Lads, we had this discussion a couple of weeks ago regarding like, it was something to do with over Frank Murphy, actually, about the refereeing between, like, whether a referee should be changed, basically. But this is the same thing. A referee's integrity should never be questioned. If it is, we've already lost. So we have, and I think it's shameful, but he has to be, like, turning a blind eye to this isn't good enough. They've done it. They let Razzie away with. They gave him a leash, and he eventually hung himself. And they had to do something about it because he was completely out of control. So if they don't get a grip of this now, God only knows what's going to be said and done when we go and play in South Africa in a couple of weeks. We're actually over there now, but we'll be playing in a couple of weeks, I think. For a week in South.
No, they're only on the radar. They only left Dublin. They're probably only sitting in Doha at this stage.
I see. And they didn't fly Aer Lingus, Claire.
No, they didn't, but they flew to Doha. Yeah.
Anyway, all right, go on, Claire. What do you think of this? The coach of the losing team criticizing the referee for the loss. Do you think that's acceptable or what?
No, it's not acceptable. People are going to give out about coaches. People are going to give, and we all do. Or people are always going to give out about refs. We all do, but we're not in the media spotlight. So it's a thin line between freedom of speech and hate speech. It's that whole, you know what I mean? That whole balancing act. Hi, Ian Gilbert from Madrid.
Hi, Ian. How are you?
Good evening, Ian Gilbert.
But I mean, my point is to you both and Peter when he comes back. Should a coach be allowed to do that? Should a coach be allowed?
No, there shouldn't be. There should be sanctions.
Right, Mike. How do you sanction a coach for blaming the referee?
How did they sanction Razzie last time when he absolutely went ballistic on several occasions? I mean, he probably should be made to sit out games out of the dugout. Mind you, they don't sit in dugouts these days anyway, do they? So what do you do?
But then you end up with Razzie with the light switches from halfway up the stadium.
But he do that anyway. He does that anyway. But it's totally, it has to be driven out of the game because it's not acceptable. We're on a very slippery slope here the way it's going. I mean, if we don't, I mean, like I said before, rugby has always claimed the moral high ground when it comes to behaviour and stuff like that, and behaviour of supporters. How can they possibly expect supporters to behave themselves in a proper manner if the management of a given team aren't capable of doing that? So I think I don't know what the answer. I don't know what the sanction should be, but I'm sure they'll come up with something daft.
They should be sanctioned. They should be sanctioned.
Johnny Sexton.
Hi, Megan. Sorry, Megan. Hi, Megan saying hello. Hi, Megan.
Hi, Megan. Hi, Gregor as well.
Johnny Sexton wasn't even part of the matchday squad for the Heineken Cup final last year. He got 3 or 4 match sanction or something like that, or months. I think it was actually more time scale than. So they have to send out a message, lads. It's nonsense.
Okay.
I don't know what.
Right.
I don't know what.
I don't know what the sanction could be, or how would you sanction a coach when he directly blames the referee for his team's loss. I don't know how you sanction that or what.
Money talks.
All right, Jim O'Shea. He should be. Hi, Jim. He should be sanctioned for it. Cannot be let away with it. Yes, I agree with you, Jim. I do agree with you.
100%.
Paul Ferguson. Hi, Paul. Has to be a sanction. When it happens in football, there is hell to play. That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't be going comparing like because
no.
In football, about 20 of them can go to the ref and start giving out.
True. True. Yeah, no, true. You're right, Claire. Dara West.
They've only started refing that in the Euros this year. Someone did get a red. Someone got a yellow card for it the other day for actually going up to the ref and talking to him because he wasn't the captain. It's the first time I've ever heard of it being given in football.
Yeah.
All right. But what's the sanction though, Claire? If the coach are they banned from the stadium or what? Like what's the sanction?
The same sanction. He shouldn't be allowed to sit. He shouldn't be involved in the matchday squad for a certain number of games. It's as simple as that. That's how you sanction. The same way to sanction a player.
All right. Okay.
All right, Dara. Evening all right, Trigger. All right, Dara.
All right, Dara. How are you? Leslie Martin. Hi, Leslie. How are you? Dara Weston. When did we last hear a coach complaining about a ref at a press conference? Wasn't it another Safa called Razzie? Yep. Who took to Twitter with a lengthy rant, and the Safas wonder why people might perceive them as bad losers. No. Yes, very true. Yes.
No.
Or Anne, sorry, Anne. Anne, how are you? Anne, hi from Kansas. Hi, Anne. How are you? Hiya, Pete. Good to have you back.
Hi, Pete. You're back.
And
I'm back on the phone. The laptop's acting the maggot, so there you go.
No worries, Pete. We can hear and we can see you. Anne from Kansas is with us. Hi, Anne. How are you?
Good evening, Anne.
Megan Augusta, a fine and a ban off the match. Okay. Conan McIntyre, evening, guys. Hi, Conan. How are you? Good to have you with us. Pete, the question I was asking that you missed out on was the Jack White incident. You're now sideways. There you go. Yeah. Keep it there.
Back up.
Now, the Jack White incident where he, hold on, I have it here somewhere. I'll just read it out because I would like your opinion on this. Jack White said after the game, after the Bulls lost, and the question was, should coaches be sanctioned in some way, shape, or form, and in what form would that sanction look like or take if it was to go ahead? Jake White said, it's twice in a row now that the ref has let the away side win. Next year, I'll ask when we play away that I want him to try and ref us. Pete, a coach criticizing the ref after his team loses, what do you think is going on there?
Well, look, it's just another example of like he's giving South Africans a bad name. He's continuing a bad name for a section, and I'll emphasize the section because I read the full kind of transcript of what he had said on X on social media, and there's a number of people out there. There's a lot of South Africans who are just saying, Jake, shut the fuck up. You know, you're too long. You're getting too old for this kind of shite. And they're right. Like, it's incredibly one-eyed. It's incredible sour grapes. It's probably embarrassing for him as a coach. You know, that the mighty Bulls have lost at altitude at home to a team that nobody, to be fair, but probably outside Glasgow, gave a fair chance to.
I don't think they even did.
No, my friend is a Glasgow supporter, and he said he was like quite shocked that they won.
Yeah.
There's an interesting comment there from Liam Lahan. Hi, Liam. How are you? I thought there was clear channels for a coach to question the ref if he felt hard done by. Any coach washing the laundry in public for a future advantage should be clearly sanctioned. Liam, I think we're all agree with you, but what that sanction is the question.
I think what's important here is the actual content of what he said. As far as I'm concerned, what he has said questions the credibility of a referee. If he has said that the referee allowed teams to win. Now that to me is questioning the credibility of a referee, and that is unacceptable. Totally.
I think that, Mike. I think that's fucking ridiculous.
I think it's
bringing the game into disrepute. That's what it is.
Without any shadow of a doubt.
You know, like a touchline ban of a few weeks, or a ban going into next season. We'll slap the likes of Jake White down. Like, he's fucking old enough. He's around the block long enough. He's tarnishing his reputation by saying such a thing.
Yeah.
Stephen O'Neill has a good point there. Use Rogers as an example. How many times has he had touchline or stadium bans in France for questioning decisions? Yeah, well, has it stopped? Well, here's the thing: has it stopped him doing it?
No.
So is the sanction good enough if he still continues to do it?
I take Stephen's point. I like Stephen's point, but yes, you're right, Claire. That, you know, has a stopped Raj from doing it. Dara Weston, Burke is Jake White, Jack lad from the. Oh, shut up, will you? Dara refused to come on the show this evening because he just wanted to take the piss. Danny Brosnan should focus on his team's discipline, not blame
and sit outside his backyard and smoking some cigars, murdering all the fucking mosquitoes and midgets. Good man, Dara.
Yeah, good man. Let me see. Paul Ferguson comments in the EPL by a manager about the ref or dealt with severely. Just to clarify, rugby allegedly takes the moral high ground over football. So why can't we compare like with like? For me, URC need to intervene, ban him from the grounds for 6 months. Paul, that is a nice sentiment. But you know whether they'll actually do it now or not, I don't know. Okay, folks. Sorry, go on, Mike.
As regards that comment about Rog, I mean, if Rog reoffends, his next touchline ban should be extended. It should be longer. Like, the penny will drop eventually, lads. If they impose proper sanctions, and I mean, like, if that sanction isn't strong enough, then they need to impose stronger ones. As simple as that. That's how these people are stopped from the nonsense. because it is absolute nonsense.
I think I can give a bit of context as regards Rog and the bans. He has said before that he can't. There's a little bit of nuance to communicating with a referee in France, insofar as there's a period of time. He said this, and I don't have it fully accurate, but there's a time lapse period, but that they can actually communicate and kind of approach the referee, and it's something like 48 hours after the end of a result, and basically, and there's a time before the next match as well that they can't. They basically, the reason why Roger's been banned is basically his frustration of lack of access to the referee, and it's very much seems to be, that the French authorities, while saying you can communicate with a referee, they're actually not allowing it by way of putting time obstacles around the communication time period.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Claire. Thanks, Mike. Dara Weston. Jake isn't some mini rugby coach who isn't used to dealing with the press. The lad was South African coach too. Agree with the Raj point, but then he's a Cork man, and they're born with chips on their shoulder. Jeez. Down there, speaking as someone married to a Cork woman, they live for arguments, and you'll never win against a Cork person. Thanks, Dara.
So that's
okay.
So that's why Dara is
getting
not on the show tonight, because his wife has got the better of him.
Yeah, Dara wasn't allowed on the show tonight because of his
massive thumbprint. Check Dara's head for a thumbprint.
Yes,
next time he actually is allowed on.
Joe
just
Lyons,
get his wife on. She's probably better for
just
that
get
anyway.
his wife on. Yeah. Joe Lyons, how are you, Joe? Good evening to you. What did I miss? Has Mike used the F word yet? I don't know.
He's not talking about food.
Yeah. Okay. Gregor Galway, John Lyons talking to me, joke. Okay. Mike Sheedy, only way pay bigger fines out of his own pocket that will end it. Possibly, Mike. I don't know. And the last one before we move on, would one punishment, if proven, be a reduction of one sub on the bench for the next game? I don't know how that would work, Liam.
No, you're putting players at risk with that. Player safety comes with problem then.
For a manager's
right. And one more from Leslie Martin. Any relation, Pete? No. Leslie Martin there. No?
Let's see what he has to say. I like what he's saying. So yeah, he is related to me.
For Jake White, a stadium ban for 6 games and a fine and of some sort. Yes. Okay. Very good. Now, the other thing, folks, I wanted to talk about, someone, I think it was from Planet Rugby, put up their predicted team. Peter Martin, I'll come to you first on this. Their predicted starting SAFA team. And Jesus, lads, it's
basically the team that played in the World Cup final, near enough.
Yeah, it's a bloody strong team. Peter Martin, what did you see the team that this journal put up? It's more or less close to what should be starting. To
answer your question, no, I didn't, but I can visualize it.
Okay, I'll just briefly give you 1 to 8. 1 to 8, starting at 1. Niche, Marks, Malherbe, Etzebeth, Mostard, Khaleesi, Dutot, or Dutot, whatever the hell you pronounce that, and Evan Roos at 8. There you go. That's some 1 to 8 set up there, Pete.
Yeah, totally. Roos is a heck of a number 8 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is, Chris.
Now,
basically what third or fourth choice.
I was going to say now, hold on, Pete. 9 to 15, you've got the obvious: De Klerk, Pollard, Colby, Delande, Creel, Ardense, and LaRue. Do you think we have enough firepower to beat that team of the squad that went over?
That's a very diplomatic answer.
Obviously, but look, we'll give it a crack. It's hard to know. The only thing I'd say is that our players are knackered. In particular, there's it's been a long season. Okay, perhaps there's an element of, and I think this was discussed last week as well, that they don't have a huge number of games under the belt, but it's just it's not even. I think at this stage, like, a lot of the guys normally would have been on probably are well entitled to a flipping couple of weeks in the sun, away from a gym, having a total chillax, relax, eat what the fuck they want, drink what the fuck they want, and let the bellies hang out kind of thing. But that's not happening, because this time last year they were in camp, and it's been a run through of rugby ever since. So if they're not physically knackered, they could be mentally knackered.
Yeah. Well, Claire, what do you think of that? Do we have enough armory in our firepower in the squad that we sent over to combat that South African squad?
We can, but as Peter said, our guys are tired. Our guys are tired. They've constantly gone. When did they start? When did they start trying work? They've gone nearly a year, like constantly. And then even before that, because they went on the New Zealand tour, then they come back and they only got a couple of weeks off, and then they were straight back into URC, went all the way through to World Cup, got 2 or 3 weeks off, and then straight into this season. They're tired. They are tired, and I know it's a World Calendar season and stuff, but still they're tired.
Okay, I'm gonna come. I have another aspect or angle to this particular question, but Mike Reedy, I'll ask you first to finish off. Do you think that we have enough?
We're going out without 2 of our best players. Let's be honest. Hugo Keenan and Million Miles, our best fullback in the world, and Gibson Park is right up there with best 9 in the world. And we're going out without 2 of our best top players. That is the top South African side. Now they'd probably have that Bulls 8 would probably have made it. Is here in the league injured, or what's his name? Everin or whatever his name is. I can't remember his name. Anyway, he might have been number 8, but outside of that, that's their full squad. It's going to be a massive ask at the Loftus Versfeld, at altitude, playing them anywhere, and they are going to be up for this big time. Now, our lads will be up for it. Make no mistake about it. Go out there.
Mike, I sorry to come across it. Sorry about that, but I think they will be up for it. But do you think that we spoke about this last week or whatever it was? So, do you think this tour is a mistake?
Oh God, it's hard to say. Christ, lads, if we go out and beat them, we'll never say it was a mistake. Then will we? You know something?
No, we won't say it was a mistake, but
these guys are professional sports people, and everybody else works in 2 weeks holidays a year, right? So maybe we're over.
Technically 4 weeks holidays a year. I got.
Well, maybe we're overplaying it a bit. You know something? They'll go out and they'll give it a good shot, and I'm up for it anyway. I hope they are.
I'm not. I wouldn't dispute the fact that they'll go out and give it all their heart and soul, but they're tired.
I know, but so Claire, do you think this tour is a mistake?
I plead the fifth on that one.
You're not allowed to do that.
No, sorry, I was drinking.
Yeah, I know you are. Yeah, go on.
Do I think it's a mistake? Do I think it's a mistake? No. Do I think they should have? Do I think they should have brought a hell of a lot of the younger players? Yes.
Okay, so my argument against that is, why would you blood younger players against the world champions?
Because they're going to have to play them sometime.
I know, but is this the right stage to blood young players against the world champions in South Africa?
Is any time a good time to blood young players? Because that's what seems to be happening. We seem to not blood young players, and then we end up with a Sexton thing. We have the Sexton that's number 10 for so many years, and now that we haven't blooded many 10s behind them, we're stuck with not very many 10s.
It doesn't look like they're blooding too many fucking players in the first test anyway.
No, they're not. They're not.
So
they're not.
There's. I would have said the same thing as Claire's just said, but that means, lads, we don't want to. Look what Leinster did, going out, like sent the young lads out there, and they got smashed all over the place. Like, But they done that last year or one. But they like, is it good for young lads to have them going out and getting absolutely destroyed? It's bad for morale. I think we have to make this a serious a serious excursion, you know.
Well, I mean,
you can't always win, and as Leinster supporters, we know that you can't always win, and when so the whole fact of we need to go and win everything, and is it bad for their morale? They have to lose sometime.
No, I'm not talking about losing.
Yeah,
there's losing, and then there's getting absolutely like what the All Blacks done to us a few years ago. They absolutely destroyed that team.
And the players that were on that team learned from that.
Okay. Now, there was a point made. Sorry, Pete, I'll come to you now. Just one sec. There was a point made by Dave Sheedy last week that about this tour, that maybe it would have been a better idea to go down to Fiji and tour Fiji, some of the lesser, perceived lesser strength teams. Although I wouldn't put Fiji.
Oh, did you see Fiji last week? They were great.
Yeah, I know. And that would have been the ideal situation to blood these players. Not against South Africa, in South Africa. And that's, I think, the point that Dave was making. Peter Martin, is this tour a mistake? What do you think?
Oh, Jesus.
Very diplomatic with his questions, isn't he?
Well, put it to you like this. Was it a mistake 12 months ago? When it was not even 12 months ago, but was it a mistake when it was announced?
I don't know. I don't work on World Rugby. I wish I did. I don't know.
But the point I'm making, nobody was screaming and roaring, and well, not that I can remember. Nobody was bawling and roaring and shouting.
I know it's yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's look, if it's a case we're going down as, you know, with our I would argue, you know, as underdogs. We're going into Lions Den against a seriously pissed and worthy opponent, and we're after. Our club sides have had a shocker of a season, basically.
Yeah.
So we're clear underdogs. We could be sitting on the 6th of July at 8 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah.
We could be dancing a jig around the sitting room saying, aren't we fucking brilliant? We're after upsetting the odds and after taking a scalp of the you know, the world champions and sticking it to them and so on and so forth. And they'll be, you know, unhappy about that. Or we could be, you know, our head in our hands could be in our hands at 8 o'clock at the same time if we get well beaten. So it's a hard one to call, really. And that's a mistake. Well, it'll only be a mistake if we don't have the right result in hindsight, I suppose. But like, these things are planned well in advance. I don't want to sound like too much like a fucking politician here, but like, it's a very, very hard one to kind of call. Is it a mistake? The end will justify the means. I would say that it's some of the selections for the tour, and I think this was discussed last week. I think some of the selections of certain players is questionable, in my view. You know, there's an obvious. We don't have a huge amount of competition at 9. Loosehead is a significant flashing light for me. Yeah. You know, there's just.
Well, actually, Pete, I'll tell you what. You've led me quite nicely into my next point, and I'll just you might as well continue on what you're saying, because what I was going to say was that Bernard Jackman, he was in a podcast. I think it was the RTE Rugby one. He was actually critical of our depth in some positions on this tour, particularly off the bench. And the positions that you mentioned there, I think the only one that you didn't mention, but you probably would have if I allowed you to keep going, was number 8 as well, 15. Yeah. And Jackman's point was that this could come down to the bench, and Ireland don't have a strong enough bench going on this tour and he worries about that. Would you share that worry?
Well, I see where he's coming from, because, you know, not to going back to Eddie Jones's time with England, and he had his finishers coming off the bench, and basically what that obviously means that come 60 minutes or whatever the time is, you've got certain players who he expects who are chomping at the bit to come on and bring an impact on the onto the pitch. Ireland in certain positions don't have that. We don't necessarily have that coming off the bench. Like you want to have, a little bit of X factor. You obviously, if everybody's fitting well, you would have some sort of, a change attack, a slight change of direction, something different coming off the bench. To that can alter a game. Like that's very much the theme, I think, of rugby these days, is that it's not necessarily having your strongest 15. It's having your strongest 23, and sometimes your strongest 23 might mean that one or two players who would in another coach's opinion might start and be first names on the sheet, they are deliberately kept in reserve to basically have an impact on tired limbs, minds, bodies, after 60 minutes, and bring either a physical or a skill edge, a technical edge to the game, and that can turn the game in their favor. So I see where Bernard is coming from, and we do have one or two positions, as I said, like loose head is a significant issue. Like we don't have another Andrew Porter coming off the bench, or an Andrew Porter like replacement coming on for Andrew Porter. And that's why he plays. Porter plays basically 70 minutes. He plays 90% of a game because because the next option is basically injury replacement only. No offense to Keane Healy, but like he's in the last lap. He's not a young bullock coming out the gate ready to absolutely hammer someone at scrum time. Jack Conan brings impact on the bench. He's got that experience. He's a line. He brings that more physical edge than perhaps our starting back row have. Like if you had Conor Murray coming off the bench for Gibson Park, slightly different player, more calm, more physical player than Gibson Park. Probably better defensively perhaps than Gibson Park. Not that Gibson Park is a poor defender, but you need to have somebody who comes off the bench and brings something that'll say, well, these guys that you want to have a bench basically that when the opposition, look at the clock and 60 minutes and see these boys stripping off, ready, absolutely mad to get on the pitch and cause mayhem. They want to be saying, fuck it, look at these guys coming on now. We're really going to be under the cosh. I don't think that our opposition look at Ireland and necessarily see that.
At the moment, Pete. At the moment.
At the moment. Absolutely. At the moment.
Yeah. Okay, Mike Reedy. What do you think? Do you think we are lacking in players in certain positions off the bench? As Bernard Jackman was critical that we lack depth from the bench.
Yes, we do. We're definitely lacking off the bench because, like Peter has just said there, like Conor Murray is usually brought on to close out a game. He's not a player you bring on to if you're chasing the game. If you're needing somebody like Gibson Park. I mean, maybe even Craig Casey is better if you're needing somebody to do something different in a game. Conor Murray is a steady Eddie that's going to. He's at the age now where he's going to close the game out. And like you mentioned, Jack Conan is obviously not going to be there, and we're also going to be struggling. Like if anything happens to Jimmy O'Brien, is Frawley going to have to go back to fullback again? So we don't have a 10 to come on, and we're like, are we going to throw young Prendergast into the fucking hotbed of things that go well for him?
Why not? Well, and that was the question. Why not?
In South Africa this year, like playing for Leinster, so he did okay. But
that's the thing. But why not? Why are we holding them back? Like I know we're saying you have to get more experience, but you get experience by playing the hard games.
But he has a starter for Leinster, Claire, or maybe he has.
And maybe Andy sees something in him that Leo doesn't.
I think we all see something in him that Leo doesn't, but that's
Yeah, but
that's
like
that's
this is what I'm saying. Like we can sit here and argue the pros and cons, and yeah, okay, the squad hasn't got enough strength and depth, but what's going down, we can build on it.
Well,
Okay.
I'm just in one of them moods. I'm just going to argue with you.
No, the big danger we have though is, and it's been a danger for a long time now, is Andrew Porter. If anything happens to Andrew Porter and Keane Healy has to go on after 10 minutes of a game, we are in fucking serious. I mean, we're talking about this so-called bomb squad coming on. They come on at what 50 minutes or something like that, and they're equally as good as the guys that are going off. Equally as good, and. It's without a doubt, lads. It's going to be a big ask. Now, I personally think he should have taken Lockman, because Lockman had a really good end to the season, and he's scrummaging has improved. Now he's a younger lad, and he has to be the future. Keane Healy is not the future, obviously. Like, with great all due respect to him, and you know something, maybe we're underestimating him. Maybe he could give us 20 minutes or half an hour even. I mean, he's only getting the 10 minutes. That's all they're risking at the moment. But we're definitely light in the. Now I think there must be some kind of a plan for one of the tight heads to revert across.
There is, Mike. Apparently, Tom O'Toole has been training at Loosehead for a period of time, according to Murray Kinsella.
Because Watchcall has also played at Loosehead for Munster anyway. The Jaeger. Ollie Jaeger has played both sides. I've seen him come on at Loosehead.
But gentlemen, I just before we move on, sorry, Mike. Before we move on, I just the predicted Irish team to play again. Predicted is the key word here. So 1 to 8, you got Porter, Sheehan. You could probably pick it yourselves. Porter, Sheehan, Furlong, Byrne, McCarthy in the second row. To combat the Safa's second row. Palm as captain, Doris at 8, not his preferred position. Van der Fleer, open side. Casey, Crowley, Aki, Ringrose, Nash, O'Brien, and Lowe on the other wing. Any player there that you wouldn't have, ladies, gentlemen, before we move on?
That's the start. That's got to be the starting lineup if they're all fit to play, really. It's the best. Yeah. It's probably the best starting lineup right now, and then our bench is going to be, like, obviously Murray is going to be scrum half.
Blade, Caelan Blade,
right? Yeah. Oh, Blade, yeah, of course, yeah. Well, is he going to risk? Like, I don't know. It's hard to know what he. I mean, he could throw a curveball in there, yeah, which I wouldn't have any problem with, to tell you the truth.
I'd actually start Blade and have Casey on the bench.
Well, fair enough. I wouldn't object to that either at all. It certainly wouldn't. The only thing I'll say is Crowley and Blade will never have played together, and it might be a. Yeah,
I think it's not reasonable to expect Blade to come in like that. How many caps has Blade got? Has he got 5 caps for Ireland? I don't think two. And he hasn't. You know, I don't believe he started either one of them. So.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, Peter.
I think he could come in and do a job. I wouldn't if he needs to play, he'll be all right. He'll do a job, certainly.
Claire, I was about to come to Claire, and she seems to have left us. Claire, you gone? Oh, she's gone there. Right. Okay, right. Hold on. I presume she's back. Oh, she's back. Claire, are you with us? Claire,
sound gone.
Hello, sorry.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Sorry. No, I didn't hear, because my earpiece fell out and I was trying to find it and stuff.
Okay, did you hear?
And then I was coursing. That's why I put it on mute, so he couldn't hear me coursing.
You're allowed.
I couldn't find the stupid thing. I know, but
you're a lady anyway, Claire. It's all right.
You're allowed.
Yeah, I couldn't find the stupid. I couldn't find the fucking stupid thing, and I was giving out, and then it's like, no, I'm going. So sorry. Go back to what we were saying there. Sorry, apologies.
We were talking about the predicted the Irish team, predicted, albeit Irish team that is going to face. Now you can. Did you hear what I said the team was?
Yes, I heard the team. I heard what the team was, and then I heard us talking about the 9-10 combination.
Yeah, go on.
Which you were saying Craig and Braid instead of Craig Casey, but someone pointed out that Braid and Crowley probably won't play together as a 9-10 combination.
Yeah, but what do you think about the? Do you think of that particular predicted team setup that it's enough to beat them?
On any given day, 15 can be 15, and
Well,
I'm not being smart, but on any given day, results have gone against us. We went to the Japan battles in the World Cup, and on paper we were hot shot favourites. We went to New Zealand 2 years ago, and New Zealand absolutely annihilated us in Eden Park, and everyone was like, "Oh, hold on, here we go, we're going to get annihilated," and we didn't. So you had to give it to the lads on the pitch and believe in them. Sorry, I should be a motivational speaker to them today.
You should be, yes, because you motivate every one of us to shut up. That's what I'd say. Yeah, all right. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and if I don't motivate you enough to shut up, I'll just talk over you. So shut up.
Yeah, Claire is talking, so everyone else shuts up. Okay, folks. Before we move on, a couple of comments here. A lot of comments here. Dara Weston. Dara is sitting in a nursing home with no cigar. Trigger today to see all the foreign nurses, mercenaries, but angels at the same time.
Hope we haven't got a smell of piss and biscuits, Dara.
Okay, Conan McIntyre. Of course we do. Andy will have a plan. I'm sure he does.
We have a complaint from James Brennan.
Hold on. One
second. No, we have. Yeah.
No, go on, Claire. Go on.
Is it a complaint or a dad joke?
No, it's not. He didn't get a link. He thinks you've forgotten about him.
He never said he was coming on.
I know, but some of us don't. You still have to send it to us, and we then like some. I need. I'm just telling you. Don't mind him, James. Don't mind him, James. He's getting Alzheimer's. He's forgetting about people.
I asked you yesterday and I asked you today who's available for this evening. The only people who got back to me was the 3 people who are on screen at the moment.
Well, in fairness, you want me to be honest? Mine was a mistake when I gave the thumbs up.
For fuck's sake. What, you see what I have to do?
And then today when you were saying to me, I was like, did I agree? I didn't agree. And I went back and I was like, oh shit, they hit the thumbs up button. A bit like that calls that I make all the time. So you go, don't know what I'm doing.
A simple yes, I'm available would be.
I was the one that had the fucking stroke.
Yeah, well, there you go. This is okay, anyway, Dara Weston, isn't it amazing how quickly the staff has healed usual Razzie bullshit saying half the team would be injured? Someone obviously got the same knock holy water is what the Connacht physio said. Dara, it's also amazing the way some banned players become unbanned. Jasper Wiese, for example. Joe Lyons.
Squad, though. He hasn't been selected.
I know, he shouldn't even be in the squad. Joe Lyons, hi Joe. Only position that is a worry for them is the 15. It's looking like the young Stormers lad, Sasha Feinberg. How's your Ellen? 22-year-old, one cap is getting the nod as are both out. Yes, okay.
He's actually very, very good. That young Stormers lad. He's some boot on him.
He is. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a very pronounceable surname. Leslie Martin. I feel like there was no need for a third this year. Give the players a rest. Okay. Joe Lyons. I'd also throw Hansen into that list. Mike. He brings so much too. Mac Hansen. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But sure, he's not there.
He's not. No, he's injured. Conan, Mac Hansen. Yeah, he is. No, agree. Conan, Joe, Les. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah. Mac Hansen. Yes, of course. See, the trouble is, folks, that when a player is out of sight, out of mind,
he's out for a long time, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, he is. Sorry. Before we move on, last one here.
Someone just said.
Sorry, go on, Claire.
Sorry, I just missed it. Did someone say Mac Hansen is a loss as well? Did I see
Mac
that?
Hansen, yeah. Joe Lyons, there's no logic like a woman's logic. Just nod the head, Peter, and accept that they are never wrong.
Thanks, Joe.
Yes. Hello. Yes, Claire. Yes, you're right. Okay, folks. There was.
Oh my.
We all saw this.
Just as well you're in Glasgow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We all saw this, folks. Okay. Claire. Claire Devaney, I'm coming to you first on this. The new laws. I can't believe I can't believe we're coming back to this
Well, okay.
again.
The red card one has been tried out already in the Southern Hemisphere.
Hold on. Bear with me just 1 second. Wait, I have them here in front of me. Okay. Now, Claire.
Yes.
What I want to do is just go through them one by one. There's 6 of them. Now, we're not going to spend too much on them, otherwise we'd be here all.
It's supposed to probably be still here in an hour's time.
Now, the first one, we've spoken about this plenty of times, and it happens to be a favourite of Peter Martin's. But we will address. So it's finally been brought to trial. All right. Oh, Christ on
when is it?
World Rugby and Bill Bowman. What the fucking hell are you doing? Peter Martin's favourite one. Claire. For fuck's sake, Claire. Jesus Christ. Pete, I'll come to you. Yeah, I know. Your favourite one.
My favourite one.
The trial laws. I hold on. Here's Claire back. Hold on, Pete. I'll reserve. Hold on.
Sorry,
Claire, just stop dropping out, will you? Will you stop dropping your phone?
It's not I keep dropping the phone. Apologies, and now the dogs are making. Oh no, it's okay.
So I'm going to talk to you about Peter Martin's favourite rule or his favourite law that he absolutely hates. That he absolutely hates, and we spoke about this on several occasions, right? But it's now was released there yesterday or the day before. The trial laws for the under-20 rugby championships. Please, can't wait to ask you. But Claire, I'm coming to you first. The first one on the list, the 20-minute red card.
They've done. They played like what? How many times did they go on the trial until they realise it's shite? Like they done it. They done it in Southern Hemisphere. They done it like two. Was it 2 years ago? Yeah, 2.
Well, Claire, who the fuck is pushing this? The New Zealanders, the Southern Hemisphere.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, it's the Southern Hemisphere team. Yeah, like they done it in this whatever it was back then. It wasn't Super Rugby Pacific. It was Super Rugby Aotearoa or something back then. They tried it. It didn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, so now what they're going to try in the 20s.
Okay, fair enough. Pete, go on. Vent your anger. The 20-minute red card, first on the list for these new laws. Now, the 6 of them, so we fly through them.
20-minute red card is not my favourite one at all. It's in a sentence, bollock. It's in a word, bollocks. That's what it is.
All right. Okay, fair enough. Thanks. Mike Reedy.
Wrong is what it is. No, it has been trialled, and I've read reports from like New Zealand rugby fans, and they all like it, and they think it's great, and they think this and that and the other thing, and it's just a load of fucking. It's wrong. It's
okay, Mike, got it. I agree with you. Yeah. The second one, Mike, back to you. I don't really have a problem with this. 30-second clock. 30-second clock for set pieces. 60 seconds for conversions. I don't see an issue with that.
No, that's a positive because it speeds up the game. All this bollocks and about at scrum time and line out time and all that nonsense needs to be sped up. And it'll take a little while to get into action, but I think that's a good thing. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Thanks, Mike. Excuse me. Peter Martin. 30-second clock for set pieces, 60 seconds for conversions. Any issue? Agree with that? No problem with that? No? Or?
Well, what's the penalty? What is it going to be, like a free kick, or is it a penalty for acting a maggot for not doing it within 30 seconds? What's the penalty?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Do we know even, or is it just
basically? I don't think Bill Beaumont even knows what the penalty is.
No, and I tell you, World Rugby don't know the answer to another one of these. But go on. Do you think that particular the 30-second, 60-second clock reset? Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, yeah, it will. It'll I tell you what it'll do. It'll take the sting out of the teams who want to play the game at a slower pace and who perhaps have a perceived advantage at scrum time. I'm looking at you, South Africa and France. So it will work to the likes of ourselves, and a team that likes high ball and play time, like ourselves. That'll be bring it on, lads.
Right. Okay. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Mike. Claire,
Yes, wholeheartedly agree. Do wholeheartedly agree with the speeding it up.
Okay. Claire, back to you. The next one they're looking to bring in is now again, there's no clarification on this particular one. There is a law in place at the moment, but I don't know how they're going to. I don't know what the hell they're talking about here. Claire, the protection of the 9 at the base of the scrum, ruck, and maul.
So basically, you're not allowed to annihilate the 9 anymore.
You're not. You can't even touch their
Haven't been
slap their
anyway.
hand.
Yeah, what? And that's okay. I know you need to protect the 9. But you're also like some of them are a bit. Some of them are a bit. I say this with respect. Some of them are a bit whingy. Yeah, protect. Yeah, understand the protecting of the 9, but how far are they going to go into the fact that like you're not even allowed to say boo to him before he cries and runs and tells the ref?
But and Claire, the other thing was that and this was brought up before that the other thing was that the minute the 9 touches the ball at the back of a ruck,
He's free rein.
it's free rein. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's free rein. It's free rein. Once he touches the ball, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
Yeah, actually.
Sorry. It's once he gets, not when he touches the ball. The ball has to be lifted.
Yes, it was once he lifts the ball.
Okay. Peter Martin, this idea that now they haven't said what the sanctions for any of these are if you break them.
Of course they haven't. Because they haven't.
The protection, yeah, exactly. The protection of the 9 at the base of the scrum, ruck, and maul. Pete, is that just not what they're doing at the moment?
I think that's all what they're doing.
Well, look, I think there's a little bit of there's a few grey areas, I suppose. Maybe that where you have a couple of instances where maybe one law trump another, and it's look, it won't change the fact that you still have yappy scrum halves. They'll be even more yappy because they'll be a protected species.
Yeah.
So look, yeah. So look, I don't know, like most of this, with the exception of the 20-minute red card, which we know is absolute horseshit anyway. We just need more detail, a bit more detail. What the fuck are they actually talking about? This seems to be, they're putting flags up flagpoles to see how they fly, without anything significant, without a bit of detail saying it's a technical offence. It'll be a free kick, or is it going to be a penalty even?
I'd say breach of any of these. Bar the 20-minute red card. I'd say breach of any of these would be a penalty. I would imagine. I don't know because, as you say, Pete, they haven't given us any clarification. Mike Reedy, the protection of 9 at the ruck. I thought they were doing this anyway.
The current situation is that the 9 is protected anyway, and the sanction is a penalty if you play the 9 before he lifts the ball off the ground. It's a penalty straight away. So I don't know what further protection the 9 needs. They've already a protected species, as Claire alluded to there, and so I don't exactly know what. I mean, the sanction is going to be a penalty, if like any foul play or whatever. So
they're fucking gobby didn't fucks anyway. They deserve a fucking slap. Jesus Christ! Right, Mike, back to you. I don't know about this one. I think this is. I don't like this one. I don't know what the benefit is. I don't know why they're doing this. The ability to mark into 22 from kickoffs. Mike?
No, I'm not in favour of that. No, I
think that's a fucking shite idea.
Because basically,
say that again.
Basically, all you've got to do is stand in the fucking 22 and take the ball and mark it, and nobody can touch it. No, exactly. No, I'm sorry. That's more fucking slowing the game down. Is all that is.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not allowed, I mean, what's the point in chasing a kick then? If a player is going to mark it every fucking time without any doubt, they are like you can't touch them. They're going to mark it.
Yeah.
So look, it's a free kick. No.
Like, this is the wisdom of World Rugby. Bill Beaumont.
Fucking no, this is a stupidity of World Rugby.
Wisdom and Bill Beaumont don't go in the same sentence there now. In fairness, let's be honest.
Peter Martin, mid-on. What do you reckon? The ability to mark the ball in the 22 from a kickoff, I think it's a fucking ridiculous idea.
From a kickoff, yeah, look. it reduces takes some of the sting out of the kicking game of any team that has a kicking game, an attacking kicking game. I think. No, as Mike rightly pointed out, like I just don't see the point of it. Like it's just basically, you're going from a stop. It just makes the game too stop start.
Well, in actual fact, Peter, it's going to increase in game because if a player marks the fucking ball, he's going to kick it, isn't he? Whereas if a player takes the ball generally from a kickoff, he runs, he makes yards, makes meters with it, and then maybe offloads it or whatever, takes it into contact and offloads it. But now you're going to have a situation.
They'll probably what they'll do is you'll be making. You possibly could well have a situation where on kickoffs you have the minimum amount of. You'll have shorter kickoffs. That's what you'll have, I would imagine. Off a restart, right? You'll have guys basically dropping it. There'll be more of these little dribbly kickoffs, like almost like dribbling it, like a grubber kick type kickoff rather than a big high kick up in the air. You'll have a grubber kickoff. To basically force the opposition to be a low kick, dribbly, shitty kick along the ground, try and flood the receiving team with players and try and force a knock on or an error resulting in a scrum.
Yeah, maybe
that's what you'll have. That's what you'll have.
Thanks, Mike. Okay, hold on. Claire Devney, your thoughts on
that? I agree with you. I agree with what the other two said. It's shite. I agree with you, Peter, as well. It's shite.
Okay. Before we move on to the next one, just a couple of comments here. Dara Weston, no need for a tour, but if we don't go down there, they won't come to Dublin when they're up here next the autumn. The IRFA, we got lots of lovely money. Yes, lots of lovely money. There's a hint of Father Ted about that, Dara. Sorry, I just show that one there. Dara Weston again. Orange card, so you can simply take a player with someone who you don't mind losing and then replacing them after 20 minutes. Yeah, that'll help player safety and better still, let's trial it on the young lads in the under-20s. Yeah, good point, Dara. We're ruppy, but have a bulletproof socks because they keep shooting themselves in the foot. Very true.
That's actually a good point, Dara.
Yeah, it is a good point.
Yeah, they as we said, they tried it. It's a bit like the Irish government. We didn't get the result we wanted, so we're going to go to the vote again.
Exactly.
And if we don't get it the next time, we'll go again the third time.
We'll go again, yeah, exactly. Leslie Martin, a red card is a red card. You do something against the laws, you stay off the pitch. It's so stupid. Completely and utterly agree, Leslie. Yes.
Yeah.
Dara Weston again, as well as 30-second set pieces. Would they not think of maybe bringing in a maximum 2 scrum resets, as it seems to be left to the ref to decide whether there's 3 or 10 scrum resets? Yeah, good point, Daria. The scrum is a bone of contention with all rugby supporters, I think. Yeah. Joe Lyons, only issue with the 60-second, 30-second is should the game clock stop once this 60-30 starts. If there is a penalty in the 79th minute, all the player has to do is sit in the clock for the minute. So should it be a case of stopping the game clock? No, I'd say it would. I'd say the clock will be stopped, Joe, in that particular incident. Dara Weston, nines are annoying little yappy feckers looking for a fight like a Jack Russell. Most coaches have to tell players not to attack their own 9 on the pitch. Okay, fair enough. Right. The second last one, Peter Martin, I'll come to you first on this one. The second last one, ball must be played after the maul has been stopped once, not twice. I can understand that one.
Yeah. Because it's basically bringing in a more of an emphasis on the use it or lose it. So it's not a question of like when the truck and trailer gets stopped and they get another push, or there's your couple of players join and it starts rumbling forward again. It's I think the aim is there to keep the ball more in open play rather than encourage sticking it up the jumper.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say is that the tight aspect of the game where you can use the physicality of forwards, I'd be a little bit concerned if that's going to be removed altogether, because that is a part of the game that shouldn't be. The teeth shouldn't be taken out of that aspect of the game at all, I think.
Yeah.
You should like we should have teams should have the tactical flexibility to be able to use the law within the laws to be able to say if they want to play a forward orientated game, they can do so, rather than be forced to play, a high ball, be able to being forced to play a particular type of rugby that simply doesn't suit the players they have. That's all I'd say.
A good point, Pete, and well made. Claire Devaney, the ball must be played after the maul has been stopped once and not twice. I actually like this. I actually like this.
It's not the worst out of all of them, is it? Really, it's not too bad.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Mike just aware of the time, Peter.
I know. Mike Reedy, what do you think of this one?
I think I don't think it's a bad idea. It's not, as Claire just said, it's not the worst idea they've got. It should speed things up a bit, and what it's going to do is take some of the physicality out of the game. I think that's what they're trying to do. I mean, the same thing with this. You can't, like, if a guy calls a mark from a kickoff, because some of the hits that are going in on players and I think once they call use it, then you fucking use it. I mean, I don't know if it's going to have a major impact, but it'll have an impact, all right, on certain teams. I don't think it's going to have one on us, really, because we're not heavily renowned for, like, trying to push teams over the line with the ball. Like, we do score from lineouts, but mainly from pre-planned moves.
5 meters out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
all right.
so bad.
Okay, and the last one, Mike, back to you. The last one, and we'll finish on this with maybe a brief mention of the URC final. Skewed line-out throws permitted if not contested, Mike.
No, I don't think. I think they're leaving themselves open for all sorts here. How skewed are we talking here? Like, like there's a grey area in the game anyway, because you see sometimes referees that allow guys to fucking throw the ball in slightly squinty, and they let them away with it. So how skewed are you basically going to allow a fucking guy to throw a ball into the line out and he's throwing it straight to his own player every fucking time?
Yeah,
which is what they try to do anyway. But I don't know. I mean, maybe it's going to encourage teams to contest lineouts again all the time, which I think is what should happen anyway.
Okay, Claire,
you have no chance of winning a lineout if you don't contest it.
Okay. Well, if you're 5 meters, if you're defending 5 meters out, Mike,
you're not going to contest it.
You're not going to contest it.
And sometimes they don't. Yeah, that happens a couple of times. They don't contest when they're not close.
Yeah, Claire, what do you think of this last one?
How skewed is skewed, and that's the $1 million question. Is it what degree of straightness does it have to be determined that it's not straight?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. That's the question. Like, that's the question. Because what one person says is straight, well, one person sees it, like, there's a couple of times you've seen and you kind of go, that ball wasn't thrown in straight, but it's not called. So again, it's the interpretation of the ref, the TMO, and
the touch judge who's standing directly behind the hooker when he throws it.
Yes. But he might be getting blinded by turkey teeth at that stage, so you never know.
Well, there you go. The glare. Yes, absolutely.
It's the glare. It's the shine.
Yes, Peter Martin. The skewed line out thing, uncontested.
Well, I suppose what they're saying is if your hooker flings the ball in and he basically throws a shit ball in. If you contest it, it's a turnover. So I suppose the way it is, if it's, I suppose a bit of more clarity is probably required as regards, as everyone has said so far. If your hooker throws in a shit ball, don't contest it, and then it won't result. You're basically letting the opposition to have it if it's a shite ball. I think that's what I'm hearing, or what I think is coming out of that. So there's just more pressure on your hooker to make sure you throw it fucking right. Like, get your timing right, get your jumpers and your lifters timing right.
I totally agree. just a comment on these laws in the group. Jerry Gorman said, yeah, this is in the actual group and the comments under the thing. He said, skewed line-out throws accepted in the line-out is not contested. All the defending team will have to do is have one lad jump up anywhere in the line on the throw and say, sir, I was contesting. This will open the door to a lot of messing about. I remember not long ago, Leinster held the jumper in the air, knowing the defenders would most likely sack the jumper whilst he was off the ground and get a penalty. Laws changed because of that. Why don't they just properly officiate the laws as they are now? Full meter space observed before the throw. Hooker must be off the field when throwing, etc. And another comment, just and this will be it. Skaroo two-tone as he is in the group, but we know him as Len. So much for player welfare. Polak's a guy with a shoulder to the head, and you only get 20 minutes. Any detail on how they propose to protect the 9? No, Len. There's no detail on how they propose to protect the 9.
It's Bill Bowman and World Rugby. They throw it out and then go, oh shit, we have to figure out how we're doing this now.
This is it. We just finished on these last few comments, folks. Dara Weston marking in 22 from kickoffs. Bill Bowman has been watching American football again, looking at ways to wreck rugby. True. Joe Lyons. How skewed is the throw going to allow? This is the question, Joe. Lash it straight to the 9. Does the team have to confirm with the ref that it's contested or not? Again, you see, this is it, Joe. Yeah, as that takes time to make sure both know. Just going to confuse. Also, forwards aren't the brightest. They will contest and uncontested, and what will breach bring? I mean, for fuck's sake, no from me. Dara Weston, Claire, you can't be calling time at 9:30 when the broadcast didn't start till 8:35. Need to stop the clock.
I'm going by the clock. I'm going by the live clock up the top, which is currently now 1:06 and 48 seconds.
Okay,
it took a few minutes to find the button.
Our average is 1:15, but we'll end it here after this. Another round of law changes and nothing about Caterpillar rucks. I thought, Dara, I thought the Caterpillar rucks were being done away with. Or
I think that's already come. I think that's already been done.
Yeah,
I think
that's started. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that has been done. Yeah. Okay, folks.
That's going into full senior rugby next year.
Sorry, just we'll end it because we have a couple of minutes allowed. Anyone? Any thoughts on the URC final? Bulls losing
well done, Glasgow.
to Glasgow, 16 points, Glasgow 21. Anyone, any thoughts on the game itself? Pete, Mike?
Well done, Glasgow. Glasgow.
Didn't see the game, to be honest. I wasn't going to watch it because there was no Irish interest in it. But like, as has been going round the rounds on social media, well done to Glasgow. They did a job on the Bulls. The Bulls didn't do as well as they thought they were going to do. And look, it's three since the URC and its current guys, you have 3 different winners, you know, each time. So it's like anybody saying that the league is uncompetitive, they're talking through their arse, really. It's a highly competitive league. I just think what they need to do perhaps maybe for next season is to shorten it. I don't think there's a need for the playoffs. Maybe just do a straight erase the first by such and such by the end of all the fixtures, and that's it.
Yeah, true. Okay, Mike, any thoughts on the final? Did you watch
it? Like echo what Peter said. Congratulations, Glasgow. I mean, I live here in Glasgow, and I'm really pleased for them. I'm pleased anytime a Northern Hemisphere team wins anything. So and get it right up.
Yo, go on out of that. Right, folks, all that's left for me to do is to thank all of you for
Pro 14 final on Friday. For anyone that's interested in watching a bit more rugby.
The top 14.
Right. Top 14, yeah, sorry.
What's that? It's who's it? Bordeaux.
It is
Toulouse
Bordeaux. Yes, Toulouse against Bordeaux, and it's on at 8:05, I do believe, on Friday night, and it's on TV Monde 5.
And Premier
for anyone
Sport.
That can get. And Premier Sports, yeah. But,
Premier Sports 1. Yeah, okay.
Yes, Premier
Folks,
Sports.
all that's left for me to... I'll be watching.
And also well done to the Bulls for winning Super Rugby Pacific. First time since 2003, I do believe.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Blues.
Blues.
Anything else, Claire? Do you want to order?
No, that was it.
Do you want to order a spice bag or anything? Or
No, it's already on order. I'm waiting for this for the man. I'm waiting for the tracking it on me app. So I'm tracking it on me app here.
I discovered
Right,
my
folks.
oil tank had a crack this evening.
Your oil tank had a crack, Pete. What?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
There you
Mike,
go.
any
Yes, it was.
Mike, anything you want?
I'm all
You
good.
said anything, so I just.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Order or anything.
fair enough. Okay.
Brother did come to
Okay.
visit.
I love you all.
I don't know, for fuck's sake, here. Would you ever fucking shut the fuck up the ladies for a minute? Jesus Christ. Right, all that's left for me, folks, is to thank all of you for watching, your comments, your opinions. We do appreciate it. We do the show out of the love of the game and to hopefully entertain you lot and you in turn entertain us. My thanks to Peter Martin, Claire Devaney, and Mike Reedy. And cheers, ladies and gentlemen. And folks, we will be back with you same time next week in the group. Thank you. Good night and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Bye.